Our bodies hold our truths. Moreno was famous for saying the body remembers what the mind forgets. If we learn to read the body, we can use it as a porthole into the mind. When you watch these video clips, you'll see protagonists holding emotion, wanting to get rid of emotion. You'll see how emotion expresses itself on their face. Are their legs tapping? Are their bodies constricting? Psychodrama allows us to re-inhabit the body we lived in at the time of the trauma, the body that froze up, the body that got scared, that shut down, the mind that shut down. We recreate through role play and through using space as part of the therapeutic process, allowing the body to re-enter the moment and live in the moment where the feelings that got shut down can re-emerge. Neurophysiology has opened the door to connecting the body and mind as one continuous system. Emotions are processed in the body. We feel them in the body and express them through the body. We feel pleasure and happiness within our bodies. We feel powerful emotions in our hearts. Pain lodges in the body. Our muscles contract. We hold pain in the fascia that wraps itself around our muscle. Psychodrama allows the body to do what it needs to do and to say what it needs to say. Psychodrama allows the somatic memory to be elevated to conscious awareness so that body and mind can reconnect. J.L. Moreno is considered to be the father of group therapy. He said, "By the group they were wounded, by the group they shall be healed." Moreno developed psychodrama in order to have a form of relationship that is both action-oriented and relational. Psychodrama is a triadic system. It includes psychodrama, sociometry, and group psychotherapy. Moreno felt that all three methods allow for a full representation of what he called society in miniature. The psychodrama allowed for the personal and intrapersonal, the relational form of therapy. Sociometry allowed for the full network of relationships to be examined. And group psychotherapy provided a safe container through which all of these issues could be explored in a safe and clinical manner. The psychodramas you are about to view are spontaneous, unscripted, and unrehearsed. As the director, I will assist the protagonist as they revisit meaningful scenes or psychological reconstructions from their lives that they wish to explore. The warm-up is meant to allow group members to literally warm up to their emotions and thoughts about a given issue or circumstance that they may wish to explore through action. Through the warm-up, a protagonist or several protagonists may emerge. There are 4 methods of selecting a protagonist: self-selection, selection by the director, selection by the group conscience, and selection by a treatment team. I want to ask you is, like in any group, is anybody warmed up?
Cranked up about something. I have no idea what it is.
Oh, well, let's find out.
Yeah.
Hey, let's find out. Travis self-selects as a protagonist by announcing that he feels cranked up about something. Oh, let's see what you're cranked up about. So what's happening?
I don't know. I feel a lot of emotion stirring in here, and I can't even put a name to it today.
Yes.
It's just that almost from the time I walked through the door and saw you, all this stuff started to go. It's almost as though I've had 2.5 years of working and then having to not deal with my own stuff so continuously, and yet having everything stirred.
Yeah.
by the clients day after day after day.
That's it.
Yeah. As soon as I walked through the door, though, everything started to just churn.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the only way I can describe it.
So if you were to put that into a sort of a model scene, what would that model scene look like? Who would be in it? What's around? In psychodrama, we always follow the lead of the protagonist, allowing the protagonist to work on whatever they wish to work on. We assist them in structuring their work. We listen and follow.
Kind of a composite figure, it feels like, of all the people who have not listened to me over the last year and a half, 2 years. The employers, the people who should be listening to what really the work is about.
Well, let's find the people in the room, the people who don't listen. Can we find them in the group? Okay, look around the room. At this point, I asked Travis if he wants to choose a role player, an auxiliary ego, to represent that person from his life.
Yep.
Auxiliary egos can represent people, aspects of self, even objects or circumstances. The protagonist always chooses their own auxiliary egos. What's there in that hand choosing her?
It's like a fellow worker. It's the fellow worker who's concerned that they're not being heard too, but they're more afraid of, like, losing the job or being seen as an irritant rather than somebody who's cooperating.
So you lose support here on the job, but you lose it extends to the fellow worker.
Yeah,
It's a
because-
creeping sickness.
Yeah.
Okay.
They see me as the one who is stirring things up. And sometimes it feels to them, I suspect, like, why doesn't he just shut up and get on with it? Get on with it.
You want to check that out?
That, I feel that judgment coming from you all the time. What is this about? I mean, I'm trying to do things well, and
What's going on? I mean, what's wrong with everything? You're rocking the boat. You're going to make a mess of everything.
I'm just doing it because there's a better way to do this than what's
Everything's
going on.
fine.
It's not fine. You see the clients, you see what happens to them. They get avoided, they get ignored because we're so involved in building the client base at the expense of really hearing people.
Clearly, Travis is having an intense reaction to his work situation. I am beginning to wonder if something deeper might be fueling this intensity, if he is projecting some inner pain that he doesn't want to experience onto this situation, making it about work rather than himself.
I mean, we're trying. We're all overworked. We're doing everything we can, and we need a client base. We have to make money. We have to make a living. I mean, this is the system. It's been here for a while. I mean, it's been working for a while. Why are you messing it up?
Because it can be better. Because it can be better.
But we're tired. We don't have time anymore. We need to just... We need a little time off. We need a break, too. We can't... What else are we going to do?
There are no breaks. Do you get that?
Reverse roles. Here, I need to understand what Travis means by there are no breaks. So I reverse roles to see what he will answer to his own statement, and so that he can experience himself from the other person's perspective. Role reversal allows the protagonist to stand in the shoes of another in order to gain perspective, insight, and empathy. It is core to psychodrama.
There are no breaks. There are no breaks. Do you get that?
Yes, I get it. Okay? But we're all doing the best we can. We're just going along. It'll get better someday down the road.
Reverse roles.
It'll get better someday down the road.
I don't want to hear someday down the road anymore. Do you hear that? I don't want to hear that anymore.
Someday down the road doesn't do it for me.
Someday down the road doesn't do it for me, okay? I want it to be better now. I don't have a lot of time.
Here, Travis gives me a clue as to what might be driving his frustration and impatience, what he might be projecting onto his work environment, that is creating more conflict than there needs to be.
Exhausted.
Tell her more about not having a lot of time.
I am not 25 years old. I am 57. I got a slice in my chest. Okay, I don't know how many years I got left to do this work. And I got something important to say, and if you guys don't hear it, nobody's going to hear it.
Okay, can we freeze this scene for the moment, and can we talk to that slice in your chest?
Sure.
And look around the room and find someone who can concretize the slice in that chest for you. Concretization is a basic function of psychodrama that allows the protagonist to talk to, rather than about, something or someone. Is this where it is? Where do you want to put this part of you?
Somewhere behind me, but I want to say hello to it right now.
Actually, I've been wanting you to be behind me. I don't want you in front of me. I don't want you even next to me. I want you behind me, but here we are. I'm going to say hello to you. Doubling is also core to psychodrama. It allows the protagonist to experience what might be going on the inside or in their unconscious and bring it to a level where they can become aware of it. In psychodrama, we use space to indicate psychological and emotional distance or closeness. Travis wants to place that part of his body somewhere up behind him. Through role play, Travis is able to literally speak to the part of his body that is carrying powerful emotion for him. He is about to have a somatic dialogue.
Hi, slice in my chest. Well, you put the brakes on a lot of my thinking. Suddenly, right here, right now, all the stuff that I want to do, that I need to do, that I need to say. And you've taken away the defense. I know you're there all the time. I can feel you every minute of the day. Even when I don't run out of breath and when I don't lose patience because I don't have time, you're still there nudging me, saying, better hurry up, get that book written. 2 pages, I got 2 pages. That's not enough.
It's not enough.
Could be over tomorrow. Every day is like that.
Every day I know you're hanging over me. Every day I feel you out there.
Every day I know you're right here with me, saying, take those pills. That'll keep you, that'll protect you, that'll keep you safe. I feel like you want to take my life away from me before I'm ready.
I feel like you're going to kill me if you don't get me here.
I'm trying to embrace you. I'm trying to embrace the fact of you. I'm trying to say it's okay for you to be there because it's just part of life, but boy, does it feel like you're pushing me.
I want your attention.
You got my attention real good, didn't you? You said to me one day, hello?
That's what it took. What did it take all of that to get your attention?
Yeah. I'm going to have you with me. I better make a friend of you somehow.
I hurt around you. I hurt in this place. I'm scared in this place.
I'm really scared. I don't want to go before I say it.
Again.
I don't want to go before I say it. All the things I've learned.
I've learned so much. I've got so much to say now that I didn't have to say before.
I've got so much to say. Honest to God. Don't stop me.
Again.
Don't stop me. Hang
Reverse.
with me.
Can we hold the scene right here for the moment. And can we let the group represent the world and give you a chance to say what you want to say? Say what you have to say. I am giving Travis the opportunity to fulfill his dream, his act hunger to say what he needs to say and do what he needs to do.
None of us have time. None of us. We got to deal with it now. We can't wait. There are things like this to help us do the work we need to do. We can't keep putting off the stuff that happened, that blocked us, that keep us from stepping out into the world as performers. You can do it. But here's the step you have to take. You have to be willing to step into the space naked. No protection. Nothing to protect you from all of those fears that you grew up with. And I can help you to do that.
I can help you. I've done it. I've learned how to do this. And I need to show you what I've learned. I need to share it.
I have done this.
Correct that if it doesn't feel right.
No,
Make it
I
your
have
own.
done this. And it's not a bragging kind of thing. I'm saying that I've done it and I know it can be done. I know that it's painful because I have laid on the floor of a stage totally helpless. And that was the greatest moment in my life. Absolutely the greatest moment in my life when I gave up all the old stuff. Coming in with the attitude, coming in with the anger, the rage, the I know better than you, the exclusivity. Exclusivity is the thing that will prevent you from doing everything you want to do because you feel like you're the only person who's ever experienced it. I see people every day who experienced everything I have every day of their lives, and they don't know how to get out of it because of mental illness. They're stuck. We're not stuck.
Again.
We're not stuck.
Once more.
We're not stuck. That's what I faced for 40 years. I wasn't courageous enough to step into the performance space naked. I should have been there years before. I blame myself for that all the time. Then I have to forgive myself every day.
You want to talk to the part of yourself that you blame for not getting there till 43?
Yeah.
Okay, look around the room.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I've been angry at you. I'm sorry I've been so angry at you. You didn't know any better. But that's why I gotta tell other people. To encourage them. To give them courage. That's what encourage means. To share. I'm gonna do my best.
Reverse roles.
I'm going to tell people and encourage them. That's what courage means, to give courage. I'm going to do my best.
Boy, I wish I'd had you with me when I was 15, 16. Would have saved a lot of time.
What would I have done?
Phoebe uses Travis's own words to keep the inner dialogue going.
I would have written the book when I was 18 and been famous. And been on the Steve Allen show.
Who would have been on the Steve Allen show?
What was the book about?
It's about stepping into the space every day without fear, without concern. Or maybe with fear and with concern, but you step in there anyway. Just going across that line.
It's about letting myself be seen.
Oh, you know a lot for 15.
Couldn't say it though. I didn't know how to say it then. Because it was all up here. It wasn't here.
I was isolated in my head.
Boy, was I ever isolated in my head. I was the smartest dummy you ever saw.
Just that reaching out and touching, it was missing for me.
couldn't bring it down here.
From this young place where you are right now, what do you want to say to the part of yourself that knows so much? Another technique in psychodrama is to have the protagonist dialogue with different parts of himself. In this case, I am trying to help Travis to connect his child self with his adult self.
Thank God you learned. Thank God you learned. It's not too late. Hang in there.
Reverse roles.
Thank God you learned. Thank God you learned. It's not too late. Hang in there.
Me and my buddy will do it together. Come here.
You're a part of me.
You're a part of me, buddy.
Forget me.
You're a gift in a sort of a way. Correct that if it doesn't feel right. Here, I'm trying to help Travis to build resilience by reframing his health issue as a gift, one that motivates him to be more of who he is, helping him in integrating his soma and his psyche.
What a gift.
What a strange way to think of you, finally, as a gift.
You made me touch the wall. You made me know there's an end to this thing I call life, and that made me see everything differently every day, all day.
Boy, oh boy. I knew I wasn't really mad at you, but now I know what a reminder you are. You're the exclamation point somebody sent me.
You punctuated. Right.
Got your attention, didn't
Yeah, you sure did. What a scar.
Again.
What a scar.
Oftentimes, after a catharsis of tears, the protagonist experiences a catharsis of laughter. This is as much a somatic or bodily release as it is an emotional or psychological release. So much of the trauma is held in the body and needs to be released directly from there.
Be afraid.
Say that again.
You don't have to be afraid.
Say it as loud as it feels.
You don't have to be afraid.
Does that feel right for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Say the last
you.
things you need to say to this part of you for now.
We're going to hang out together. You're going to remind me every once in a while to stop staring at the blank screen and put some words on the paper. And also to remind me that everybody will notice me in a bathing suit now.
Okay, can we put our past scenes over there and freeze them just for the moment, just a little backed up? And can we spiral up, back up to the present?
Yep.
Now the drama feels as if it's coming to natural closure. It has had its arc, so we'll spiral back up to the presenting scene so that Travis can revisit it with the advantage of new insight and understanding that we gained from visiting the material that was triggering him. What do you want to say to the coworker, the boss?
What do you want from me?
We'll work together. I'm here for you. I'm a resource. I'll try not to be so complaining.
I would love some of your energy. I'm worn out. I've had ideas like you. It doesn't work.
Then spit them out. Spit them out. In the dark if you have to, but spit them out so you can practice saying them to real people. Like him.
What do you want to say to him?
It's not about making money. If we were in this for money, we would have left a long time ago. I'd still be doing computer typewriting for 3 times the money. It's because I want to share with other people how to be safely. And you're getting caught up in that money stuff again. You are so frustrating, because I know there's a heart inside of you that got you into this work in the first place. But now you're letting other people determine how you make decisions about clients, about people who need help.
You're letting the money drive everything.
You're letting money push you into places you don't want to be. That's why you're so angry half the time. That's why you're sarcastic all the time. That's why you're demeaning every time you open your mouth.
It's a business. Business is business. This is a business.
Oh.
And I'm tired of you blaming me.
You're there to be blamed because you're denying your own heart. Otherwise, you wouldn't be so angry. I know you're denying your heart.
Reverse roles.
I know you're denying your heart.
I know I deny my heart too, every day. But I've also been smart enough to learn what it takes to make it in this business. It's nickels and dimes, dollars and cents. You ought to understand that. That's theater phrasing. Nickels and dimes, dollars and cents, and that's what it's about. If we don't do that, the rest of it doesn't happen.
Excuse me, sir, may I ask you a couple of questions?
Sure.
So, nickels and dimes, dollars and cents, we know it's real. We don't want to discount the importance of money in business and getting it to work, because if that doesn't work, right, the rest doesn't work. Is there some way this part, what about happened to this part of you? Travis is standing in the shoes of his boss to gain compassion, understanding, and insight. But he is seeming so unrelentingly critical that I have stepped in to help gain further understanding of what might be underneath it. In the business.
I felt like that once upon a time, but I got smart.
So it's dumb to feel like that?
It's dumb to feel like that.
Weak?
Yeah.
Get you nowhere?
He just doesn't understand. He's one of those feel-good persons.
One of those feel-good persons?
Yeah.
Right, who
Yeah.
doesn't get it about
Yeah.
the real stuff,
Yeah.
the real world?
Yeah. You're
That's all.
me before I stepped over. I could have so easily gone the way you went.
Yeah, there but by, you know? I was almost you.
I was almost you.
So when I see you, it just reminds me.
It's like beating myself and saying, come on, we can do it with feeling.
Yep. When I see it in you and it triggers what I was and what I'm afraid I could be, then it really makes me mad.
Get out of your head. Come on down with us.
Okay, so the last things you need to say to this gentleman? I'm choosing to end the scene here. We have probably done enough for today, and I don't want things to devolve into criticizing without an understanding of what is fueling it. I will allow Travis to experience sharing so that he can stay open and grounded in all that he has learned through the drama, and so that he can begin to accept in some caring and support from others.
Try to work together. Come on. Okay, feel it.
The sharing allows the group to continue their own healing by articulating what came up for them. It allows role players to de-role, and it lets the protagonist take an identification and support from others so that they can heal and be reintegrated into the body of the group. Lisa, Travis's wife, begins the process. Normally I wouldn't have a husband and wife in the same group, but this is a combined group only for today.
I know how much courage it took for you to get up there today and do that. And I resonated with what you went through. I had a similar story. And the thing that is so hard to say is that I enjoyed it. And I just want you to know that there are other people who are with you, who can support you, and you're not alone, even though it feels like you are sometimes. And thank you for your courage today.
Travis. Tian said, Telly, it's like when you looked around, it's like you had to pick me on December 14th. just, my birthday was December 22nd. I was 50 years old. I had a heart attack. And so it was just, it's like I knew, it's like you. And is it the first time when you were choosing people, like you didn't give me a glance, and when it was, you went right to me and went. And it was so important. And what I felt like I could offer, and what you were a mirror for me, just in mine, however it translates to you, is that, see, I was also disabled I had major back surgery, so I was really struggling. There was this sense, I identified with your struggle. It's like, I gotta live now, I gotta do it, I gotta get it all, what did I do with my life? And the heart attack said to me, give it all up. The message of my heart attack is, and just be right here. Be in my heart. And what I felt is, after my heart attack, is every time I got a fraction out of being exactly here with my heart, I started getting like heart palpitations and so it's like, it was really a message, stay right here. And the urgency it's like, I got to give that up. And I feel it, and so immediately.
Travis, heart messages, man. There I am. I'm the money, and I kept thinking to myself, man, if you're waiting for me to tell you that I got a heart, you're gonna be waiting a long time. There was something going on with me about what is it that I'm following here, and when am I gonna stand up, or am I gonna be afraid?
Watching you talk to your cut in your heart and acknowledging it as a gift was something completely new for me, because I have kidney problems and I've always seen it as not part of me. I don't want it to be a part of me. And I've always seen it as something holding me down. And when you started to talk about having it as a gift instead, it really got me thinking that it's a reminder for me that I need to pay more attention to myself sometimes.
I had no idea that Travis had a heart condition, nor that the others had physical conditions. The drama brought those to the surface. As Moreno said, the body remembers what the mind forgets. Once we engage the body, the mind follows. Because psychodrama allows the body to actively participate in the therapeutic process, frozen action, feeling, and thought patterns that the body-mind is holding can be brought to completion and closure. This allows for insight through action, meaning that we are able to observe the self in action and reflect on our own behavior as it emerges through the warm-up and the drama. Psychodrama actually allows us to talk to a part of our body, to enroll it, to dialogue with our own somatic experience. We choose someone to play the part of our body that's trying to tell us something, and we can listen to what it's trying to tell us. Then we can reverse roles, inhabit that body part, and talk back to ourselves. By creating this kind of physiological dialogue, we can make the soma emerge into the psyche more fully, because they are completely connected. We are a mind-body system. So having a therapy that allows the body to enter the therapeutic process gives us a fuller way to reach the entire psyche. It more accurately mirrors who we really are, body, mind, and spirit. Spectrograms are one of the most user-friendly techniques in psychodrama. They're sociometric, they're part of sociometry. They are, in effect, a graph placed on the floor. I've used spectrograms in every venue, from business offices to staff training to deep psychodramatic work. We set up a spectrogram by having one side of the room, or one line, represents 0 and 1 100. You can have very little, very much. You can do a variety of extremes. I like 0, 1, and 100 because it's so common and easy for people to access, that model of 100. And that you set a line an imaginary line going through the room and mark out a 50% point for the group. You don't have to mark it on the floor, but tell them where it is. And then you ask criterion questions. How comfortable are you in this room right now? You're very comfortable. You're not comfortable at all. You're 50% comfortable. When people identify where they are in a spectrogram, a lot of things happen. They get up out of their chair. They claim where they are by putting it on the floor. I am 40%, I am 60%, and this is why. They connect with each other. They hear each other, and they have an opportunity to identify or disidentify with what's being said. One of the extensions I often use with a spectrogram, after I've asked 2 or 3 criterion questions, is to suggest that people walk over and place their hand on the shoulder of someone with whom they identified and share with that person why you identified with them. So that allows the group then, through a spectrogram, to connect with themselves and then to connect with others in the group. A lot happens in a short time, and it's contained. It's a great warm-up to psychodrama as we're using it in these tapes, or it can be an exercise in and of itself. You can just sit down after the spectrogram and share what the experience was like. So this one's going to be on grief and loss, this spectrogram. So the criterion questions will be on grief and loss. So let's say the first, is there a loss issue you want to work with this morning? Is there a loss issue you want to work with? And if there is one floating around your brain somewhere, how warmed up to it are you? Very warmed up? Not warmed up? Okay, so this is the very warmed up half of the room. Popcorn style, just shoot out against the wall. Name the loss issue, if you would. Loss of self. Mother. Loss of mother. Up here.
Loss of relationships over a lifetime.
Yeah.
A relationship.
Okay. That's more warmed up. So let me ask a few questions, and you can locate yourself wherever it feels right to you. How disrupted, or how much depression, let's go there. How much depression do you feel around this loss? Very much depression, very little depression. A medium amount of depression.
At this very moment.
At this very moment. Everything in psychodrama is at this very moment, because from the psychodrama point of view, the psyche knows no time. Okay, it shifts. It shifts. There's a different group in the warmed up spot. One of the things that happens in trauma and loss is that we shut down, we become constricted emotionally. We lose our ability to express emotion. How emotionally constricted do you feel around this loss? Very emotionally constricted? Not very emotionally constricted.
Can I go through the wall?
Can you want to go through the wall, Leslie? Yeah, I'd like to go through the wall. Okay, tell how emotionally constricted?
Like stone. I feel as if I'm a block of concrete.
That's constricted. Yeah, that's a good way to. I think more people can identify with that than you might know at this moment. Sheila? The questions we're exploring are warming Sheila up to her own grief issue. At this point, I do not know what the loss is, but by her body language, it seems to be deeply held.
I know that it's having an impact on other relationships, or it has had, but I don't want to put it all on her. So,
as the director, as the therapist, my attention is drawn toward Sheila. She is clearly feeling something very powerful. And the reason I know she's feeling it is not because she's speaking up or moving around actively, it's because she's closing up. You'll see her constrict. You'll see her stiffen. Her head goes down and her body goes in. She's trying to hide something that's emerging. She's imploding. That makes me think that something that has been deeply traumatizing for her is emerged because she can find no words to describe it. Everything in her body is telling us, in fact, she is trying to shut down this powerful thing that's happening inside of her. So my task becomes how to allow it to emerge slowly enough, sensitively enough, carefully enough, so that she doesn't become re-traumatized. So you'll see me working very, very slowly.
I'm feeling a pain, like right here, when I think about it. But I don't want to be mad at her.
So as the director, we are always scanning the body, looking for areas of frozenness, of unusual movement, of tension, of anything that might help us understand the protagonist's experience. And then we explore that simply by asking the protagonist to tell us what the body wants to say or do. If that pain that you're feeling in the center of your chest had a voice, what would it say?
It would say stop.
Sheila stands frozen in the memory of her mother's suicide. Her emotions are shut down. Her body is holding them, but she has no words to describe what she is feeling. Her body is unconsciously holding them. Her body is telling us much about the pain she is holding. The trauma of her mother's suicide is manifesting as emotional and physical tension and constriction. Her feelings are somewhat unavailable to her, and she feels unable to find words to describe them. Listening to what her body is trying to say or do can help us lead her out of her frozenness toward experiencing and expressing what is going on inside of her.
First thought is slap, but it feels like to slap me, like to raise up and like stop me.
To raise up and stop me from doing. As Sheila's urge to talk about her mother's suicide emerges, so do her restrictions and prohibitions against talking about it. She fears being slapped.
From talking about her, I don't want to be angry at her.
I don't want to be angry at her. Has it moved?
Feels like it's in my feet.
It feels like it's in your feet, so what do your feet want to do?
I'm trying to be grounded. I'm trying to be still.
I'm trying to be grounded. I'm trying to be still. Can we give you a moment to talk to her? Here we're helping Sheila to find her silenced voice. She's beginning to feel her previously unfelt emotions and say and do now what she couldn't say and do then. She has action patterns that became frozen and feelings that she shut down. Through psychodrama, these can be completed. Through letting out a sound, Sheila begins to thaw out her frozen emotions, to find words to express and describe them, so that she can process them consciously. She is making the unconscious conscious.
You're not here. You're not here in the way I need you to be here.
You're not here in the way I need you to be here. Let that sound out. Let it out. Let it out as much as it wants to come out. Just let that sound out.
I don't even know how you would be if you were here, but you're not here. You're not. How could you leave us?
Why did you leave us?
How could you leave us?
Sheila is touching her heart, indicating where she is holding pain. She is actually feeling the pain on a physical level. The physical and action orientation of psychodrama allows us to work with this in a much more direct way than talk therapy alone. We needed you. I understand how painful your life was. I understand why it was beyond your capacity, but we needed you. That didn't change. Our need of you didn't change just because it was tough for you. You left us half empty. Through doubling, we can connect the limbic or feeling sensing mind with the conscious thinking mind, the cortex. In this way, we allow the protagonist to bring split off, shut down, unconscious pain into a conscious state so that it can be talked about in words and they can begin to reflect on it.
I keep thinking that God made you kill yourself so I would be okay. I don't even know how you would be if you were here.
I keep trying to make sense of this tragedy. I keep trying to give it some way to sit inside me that feels okay.
I was tired of going to the mental hospital to see you.
Say that again?
I was tired of going to the hospital to see you. And I lied. I lied so they could take you away that time.
I lied so they could take you away then? I'm carrying so much shame and confusion about how I had to behave to protect myself. It sits inside of me, all over my body. During moments of intense stress or pain, our cortex can shut down, but our limbic mind continues to operate. After experiencing a catharsis of pain, Sheila's face looks relieved and peaceful. Her natural spontaneity is restored. We can see her creating new meaning for herself and developing compassion for the traumatized child she was.
I didn't like it when you went away with him for days and we had to go get you from the bar. I didn't like it.
As Sheila gives voice and action to her blocked anger and pain, her vulnerable feelings of love and dependency can once again be felt. She is reshaping her relationship with the mother that lives inside of her.
I want your help. In saying the things I need to say to you.
Let's say, should we just try 2 really quick sentences? What you need to say, it can be short and sweet, it doesn't have, you can just say it in 1 sentence. I need to say,
I want to live, and
I want to live.
And I love you.
I love you. Sheila hugs her mother and experiences a new catharsis of pain. But this time, she feels it in her mother's arms, integrating the love and hate. Oftentimes, this happens that when the protagonist gets what they have yearned for so long, it brings up pain all over again because it hurts to receive it. This physical action is helping her to open to love, care, and support again.
I didn't know I was still in that much pain. And I guess what happened for me was I felt a release of a lot of it, a release and relief, and I knew it because when we went back into the spectrogram, I ended up in the opposite direction where I had been. So that was freeing. Yeah, it was good.
What is it that psychodrama works for you? How does it work for you?
I think it just sort of forces me to go places in a very short amount of time. It's a way of bringing together like all of the work I've done in therapy, individual work, or experiential group, or just life, meetings, the range. It just sort of brings it just forces me to go where from the places that I defend, a lot. Because I think if someone was just talking to me about how I felt, one-on-one even, and my therapist is a good therapist, but, and I've gone some of those places with her, but there's something about the witnessing of the narrative, the support of one person saying sometimes the word that I can't bring. It feels like I'm taken care of in some way. I guess the energy of the room and the number of people. But I also think it's very significant to have one person leading it. The body work is, that's really incredible to me. I think I was most, I don't know if I say fascinated by it, but to have someone describe to me the pounding in the chest, even though like I knew it was happening, that to hear someone tell me how they saw it and that they saw some anger in it. And in some ways the anger I still felt was like me trying to stop the pain more towards me. But what really floored me was when Bob, as my mother, held me. I mean, at a certain point, I mean, the crying there, and it was like I could have kept crying. I would think it was over, the shaking of my body and everything, and it wasn't over. It wasn't going to be over until it was over.
We need to let the body complete these truncated actions and shut down thoughts. We need to let the interrupted action and thought pattern come back to life and complete itself. This is a kind of closure that the brain desires, that the body desires. It's a brain-body operation, and psychodrama allows for that to happen in a very fluid way that naturally imitates life. It's not the big bang we're going for. It's not the huge catharsis of abreaction necessarily. It can happen, but only as a part of the drama. We're looking for a catharsis of integration, which means we're looking to get the thinking mind on board to make sense of the feeling mind, so that the split-off aspects of self can get re-experienced, thought about, and reintegrated into the self system with new understanding and meaning. Letter writing is something we call a near psychodramatic technique. You know, when we put our own pen to a piece of paper, feelings and thoughts flow. I always ask people to don't edit, just put pen to paper and let it flow. It's amazing what comes from the heart and pours onto the paper. It's near psychodramatic because we're not actually inhabiting the role, but we surprisingly do inhabit quite a bit of it through the letter. It's psychodramatic in the sense that we are in role. We are writing as ourself to somebody. Maybe we're writing to another person. Maybe we're writing to a part of ourself. Maybe we're writing to a childhood self. We can psychodramatize this very easily by setting up two chairs and, say, reading our letter to an empty chair, or choosing a role player to represent the person or the part of self to whom we're writing the letter. It's a structured, tight psychodrama that those without extensive training can do more safely. I go into a lot of techniques of how to structure this in the living stage. It is a wonderful activity to warm a protagonist up to material, or is a complete exercise in and of itself. In this next clip, we are seeing Amal writing a letter to the part of herself that feel stuck. We're using the technique of letter writing as a warm-up to a deeper psychodrama in which you will witness other characters emerging. But the letter is the point of entry. What got warmed up?
I think it was like, well, I don't think I know that it was the whole idea of having to do what you need to do now and not wait and not get stuck in just this like routine way about like approaching life and stuff. So I'm really kind of disgusted at myself for not breaking my patterns.
So is it yourself you want to talk to, or somebody else? That part of yourself?
It's gonna be like myself, I think.
Okay.
Part of myself that is not courageous enough, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. Well, let's find her in the room. Her, him, however.
I think.
So let's reverse roles. Let's show us this part of yourself for a moment. Sorry, reverse roles. And let's see where she is, what does she look like, if she has a body position, what's it like. In psychodrama, we can dialogue with parts of ourselves in order to gain a clearer understanding of what we're carrying on the inside. Here I am asking Amal to show us how she sees the roles in her drama so that the auxiliary egos can receive some role training.
I'm just kind of, you know, I'm content to where I am. I'm content where I am, and so I don't understand why there has to be, you know, unsettling in this place, and, you know, why you have to make an issue out of this, because I'm dealing, I'm coping, I'm existing. So.
Reverse roles.
I'm dealing, I'm existing. Is that really, that's really good enough for you, isn't it? Just to kind of stand there passively, letting life come to you. That's enough.
It's got me this far.
Where's that?
In school, I'm
Functional, but that's like, that's a cop-out, you know, you're not moving, you're not going anywhere, you're kind of like in a place where you can say, well, I'm doing something, but you're not really doing anything for yourself.
I'm in school, I'm thinking of my future.
So what? What does that, I mean, it doesn't really mean anything. It's like a convenient distraction or something.
Well, what do you want? I'm in school, I'm thinking of my future. How is that
I
not?
don't think you're thinking about your future at all. I think you're trying to avoid it, actually.
Reverse roles. I'm reversing roles here to find out what Amal means by you are avoiding your future. Only she can answer that accurately.
I don't think you're thinking about school at all. I think you're trying to avoid it.
Well, I'm just trying to exist in the present. I mean, I can't look that far ahead right now, and I'm doing the best I can. So I don't know, you know, what you need. I mean, it just seems like you're asking like too much, you know. I mean, you're demanding too much of me, and I can't deal with that right now. So.
Well, I hear you say you're in the present, but you're in school for your future. So, what is it? Are you just kind of hanging around, or are you going to think about your future?
I can't. I mean, I'm just doing what I can do right now. I mean, that's got to be enough. So.
You're asking a lot of me. It feels like you're asking a lot of me, and it's confusing me. It's pulling me in directions I'm not necessarily ready to go. I am doubling Amal's resistance to opening up so that she can feel less alone in her fear, so that she can feel supported enough to consider opening up a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, and I can't go in certain places, you know? Like, I've tried to go certain places, like, you know, with people, like involving, you know, myself in an intimate way with people. I tried, and it just is not working. And so I just have to be where I am right now. And if that means not dealing with intimate relationships, then that's fine, you know?
Okay, as long as you understand you're not dealing with it.
Well,
Ouch. Ouch. Correct that if it doesn't feel right.
damn.
Kind of knocks me back when you talk to me like that. Is that right? Correct?
Yeah. I mean, where am I going to find the strength to deal with it? I mean, I feel like every time I've tried and made an attempt, a really honest, really risky attempt to do something, to open myself up, I always end up just falling backwards and then feeling really weak, and all of the energy, all the strength that I had goes away.
Yeah, I just feel very vulnerable, very dependent. It's not so easy to get deeply involved. Is that it?
It's just frustrating. You know, I try to do things and I try to go places and I try to think of new things that I might want for my future. And then I feel like I get stuck and I feel like I just wait some more.
But maybe you just need to wait. I mean, maybe I don't know where to go. Maybe I just don't know how to get to what you want, you know? I don't know how to be anybody else. So.
Okay,
I don't know how to be anybody else. You're asking something of me, and I'm not sure quite how to get from here to where you're talking about. Here I am doubling to allow Amal to feel that she has the right to grow at her own pace, to be easier on herself.
Okay, but you know what? If you don't know how to get there, at least admit you're there. I mean, at least...
I'm admitting I am here.
Again.
I admit that I am here, all right?
Again.
I fucking admit I'm here.
I'm not hiding this. Why are you talking to me that way? Is that...
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at least I have the decency to say where I am, and I'm not too ashamed about it. I mean, I'm frustrated myself about it, so what?
Reverse roles? I am reversing roles so that Amal can respond from both roles to the previous question. Why are you talking to me that way? In order to make her inner dialogue and inner dynamics more obvious to her. After all, this is an internal dialogue, so Amal represents both roles. We need to go back and forth.
I'm frustrated about it myself, so what?
So, I mean, it's great that you could admit it, but, you know, if you're in the state that you are in right now, maybe you can't stay there anymore. Maybe it's killing you, you know? You're killing your spirit, and then you forget about all those little things that make you who you are. And those are really essential.
Those little things that make you who you are a big, big part of you. They're really important.
So don't forget about that kind of stuff, because if you do, you're going to lose yourself.
What about this part of me?
Notice how the auxiliary ego helps Amal to continue and stay grounded and move forward in her inner dialogue.
I mean, it's a valid part of you. It's a valid part, but you need to move outside of it. You need to be alive more.
Can you give her some help? Can you give her a couple of hints how to get from here to here from where you're standing? As a director, I am constantly monitoring when to intervene and when to let the process play out. During the psychodrama, I'm always looking for opportunities to support and strengthen the part of the protagonist which is trying to grow. In this case, I'm trying to help Amal become her own friend rather than foe. And so I choose to reinforce the part of her which is trying to build herself up rather than tear herself down.
Don't be so concerned about what people are gonna think. So what? You know, in the end, it's not gonna matter. You know, they're gonna pass through your life and then they're gonna pass out of your life, and the only person that's gonna remain standing there, if you're left standing, is gonna be you. So.
Makes sense, but it's scary over here. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, nobody, you know, I don't care what people think, but.
Oh, please. I'm just like, yeah, I'm sick and tired of the arguments.
When I hear you do this, I just want to shut you up. Is that it?
Yeah, you know, you're stronger than that. You are stronger than that. You've gotten through.
This is the place where I get frustrated. You're stronger than that. Reverse roles?
This is the place where I get frustrated. You're stronger than that.
I don't know.
You're stronger than that.
I don't think you really understand. I mean,
And tell me, what is it? What's so strong about being over there that you don't want to lose it?
I don't know, like I feel, well, I know where I am. I mean, I know how to deal with this.
Here I'm familiar. Here I know about. I know this place. It's familiar.
If I step over to where you are, it's like, I'm terrified, really, I guess. It's just, I don't know how I would deal.
I feel really terrified to step over there. I think I need you to see that. I need you to see that from here, that's a terrifying leap to take. I don't know what's over there. Is that it? I want to be free to use my clinical intuition and jump in freely, but of course I don't always get it right for the protagonist. By repeatedly checking in with them, I empower them to own their own truth, and I am able to hone in collaboratively on their central concerns and conflicts.
I don't know what to expect. I don't know what's going to happen if I go to where you are. And, you know, it's not like I don't want to. Like, I really, really want to be there. I really want to be strong. I really want to be able to start to live in a different way, and to make some really, I mean, necessary changes, but I don't know how to do it.
Can you tell this part of you what you need in order to make that journey? What do you need from this part of you in order to walk towards her?
I need you to be able to take down some of the defenses that I have built up. And I've got, like, you know, like I'm standing on shaky ground right now, and I need a little bit of affirmation that, you know, when I go over to where you are, it's not going to be that way. Or it's going to be, at least I can stand on that ground. I can stand on the space that's between us.
Reverse roles. Here I'm watching Amal literally close in on herself. She's pulling in, she's dipping her head, she's bringing her hands up, starting to play with her fingers. She looks like she's trying to hide and hold something that's coming up through her self-system that's really painful material to look at.
Well, you know, the thing is, where you're standing right now, that's shaky ground, okay? You're managing to stand there and be relatively functional, whatever, you know, but so what's the problem? You're already standing there.
Last line. Here I am trying to reduce the power of the auxiliary to respond extemporaneously by limiting her responses to the last line, so that Amal doesn't get overwhelmed with material that doesn't quite fit for her.
You're standing on shaky ground, so what's over there?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I am, so I don't know. Okay, there's like this big black space, that unknown. That's what it is. It's scary.
So you're always going to be frustrated with me then? How's this going to change? How are we going to, if you're comfortable over there but you don't like it, what am I supposed to do over here?
I don't know what to do. I don't know what you can do. I mean, I want to be there with you, but
I feel like I'm fighting you so hard and you're fighting me so hard. There must be a way that I can get you to come over here without being afraid, and there must be a way that I can stay with you over there that you don't feel like you're not moving anywhere. There must be.
You double has something to say?
I feel like you're shaming me. I'm saying over and over again, I'm here, but I don't know how to help myself. I think I first need you just to hear me. I'm feeling scared. I feel young.
Did Double get it right?
Yeah, I just need you to hear me.
Tell her that is sincerely, so she'll hear you. How can you say that? So she'll hear you. Phoebe's sensitive doubling gives me an opening to strengthen Amal's ability to counter her own negative self-talk, to help her to build a compassionate alliance with herself.
I need some time. I feel like time has been stripped away from me perpetually. And every time I have a consistent space to exist and to be with people, that space is taken away. And then I keep like making myself go into spaces that are taken away because it's like really familiar. And I just need some time that's like, it's enough time for me to be able to do that.
Em, is there a particular space that's coming up for you right now, or something that was taken away, that comes up when you're in this role? I am sensing that Amal is referring to some sort of loss that may be part of why she is stuck.
My whole life I've just like not had enough time with people. Like it just constantly, I give myself up to people, and
Where did that begin for you?
like from the beginning, from the start.
The start?
I can run through my whole life story, but it's just like I've always like felt like I haven't had a chance to stay with the people that I constantly give myself up to intimately and stuff. So
Who, if you could think of the person who most concretizes that loss, who would it be?
I'd say almost as a metaphor, because I can't even think of her in a concrete way, would be my mother. So
Your mother? Would you like to speak with her?
I don't know. I guess we could try.
Okay. Feels a little hard, but we can try. Okay, can you look around the room and just give yourself time to find her? Give yourself time. Take as long as you need.
So, hello.
Hi.
So let that happen. Let that happen. Let that happen. I wanted you for so long. So, from such a deep place inside of me. I needed you. It hurts in this place. It hurts. I've missed you. Amal's body is beginning to show the pain she is holding. I am doubling to help her to make unconscious pain conscious more comfortably, to connect her limbic mind with her thinking mind. I wish that I could know you.
You're just like a dream.
You're just like a dream.
I feel so separated from your world. I just have no idea. I feel like such a foreigner.
I need to feel you close to me. I need to connect with you somehow.
I just want to know if you think about me. You know, if you like remember me.
It hurts me to see you so sad.
Amal's body and her closed eyes are telling us how painful it is to look at this material.
I think you know me a lot more than you think you do.
Thank you.
Does that feel right? Do you feel that?
I hope so.
I hope so. What else do you want to say to this mother? I am getting the picture that this may be a birth mother, that Amal may have been adopted.
I don't mind about what happened. I just, I don't mind. I mean, I just, I wish that the distance between us could close somehow, but I wish I could just see your face and see my face in your face. It would be so, like, grounding for me. And I want to know, like, if I look like you. My eyes and my hands, if they're yours. The same.
I have so many questions inside of me. Do I come from you? What do I look like compared to you? So many, they've been in my mind all my life.
They've been in her for a long time.
Can you reverse roles? Does that feel okay? Or no?
That'd be interesting.
Do you want to? Okay, we can try it. Reverse roles.
I wish I could see you. And I wonder if I look like you.
Of course you do. I too wish I could hold my child. Know what kind of woman she's come to be.
I wish I could hold my child and know what kind of woman she's come to be. Tell her what she needs to hear, because only you know it. Here, I am encouraging Amal to explore her fantasies and dreams surrounding her adoption, to say the things to herself that she longs to hear from her birth mother in order to help her to close that open wound. She needs to somehow feel less lost to the mother who gave her birth, so that she can feel less stuck. Even if this doesn't happen in reality, it can happen in a psychodramatic reality, as her birth mother lives, after all, primarily in her psyche.
I love you.
don't worry about me, and don't worry about how you came to be, because it doesn't really matter, because I carried you for 9 months in my breast, under my breast, in my stomach, and I wanted you there. I wanted to bring life into the world. So don't question that anymore.
Again, Mom, tell her again.
Don't question that anymore. It just is. And I will be with you. And of course, our blood is the same. You know that. You know that. I don't even have to tell you that. Okay?
Reverse roles.
Don't even question anymore. Our blood is the same, and you know that. I don't even have to tell you that.
Amal is beginning to integrate her birth mother into her positive picture of herself, rather than split her off. To give herself the right to be wanted, to set herself free, and stop questioning whether or not she was wanted. And you said what you need to say. So end the scene with your mother any way you want to for now. That's it? Okay. Can we move back into the present? Oh yeah, that. I'll find you one.
So, do you see? I don't know. Do you understand?
Reverse roles.
So, do you see? Do you understand? Yeah. I mean, I get it. But you have to realize what you already know and to accept what you already know.
Can you tell her what that is?
That you are loved, and, you know, you gotta pick yourself up off of the ground and not remain inert like that, because you know that you're not going anywhere, and you know that you're stronger than what you make yourself out to be, and you know that you're more of a woman than you live as. So be that. Be a woman. Stand up.
Amal sounds calmer, stronger, and more self-possessed. Reverse roles.
So be a woman. Stand up.
Just as you say.
Just as you say. Okay. Okay. Reverse roles and end the scene from the present day role. I always end the scene from the primary role of self in the present. I feel that this helps to ground the protagonist in the here and now, and to strengthen, integrate, and own all parts of their self system.
I think that's where I need to end.
Yeah, from the adult, yeah?
Yeah.
Just the last things you want to say to this part of yourself from the adult part of you.
You're all right. You're okay. You'll be fine. Just acknowledge those things about yourself and stop putting them on the back burner outside of your sight. They are roles that are part of you.
We actually see Amal integrating parts of herself here. Next, we move into group sharing and closure, as we've seen in the previous two dramas. In the sharing Amal will see her drama reflected back to her through the eyes of others. She will hear their identification with her story, which will help her to feel less alone, and the group will have the opportunity to share and heal what came up for them while witnessing or playing roles. This is a group process. Everyone who is in the room is working, either from the role of witness, auxiliary, or protagonist. The sharing allows the group to reintegrate and heal.